Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I have tripled the amount of Jagdpanther in my stash, so instead of building one early Jagdpanther on the factory diorama, now I've stuck with three Jagdpanthers, two late types and one early. The early one will be on the whole new diorama. I think this will be something more like battle scene, maybe from the Battle of the Bulge or Ardennes Offensive, whereas the factory line will consist of the late types. Because I think the mix of the early and the late type on the factory would be wrong. So this video is gonna be more like explanatory or after action report on what I've already done with the previous Jagdpanther and the introduction to the plans for the new Jagdpanthers in my collection. So you are probably familiar with this box art, Ausführung G1, early one from the last episode, Menk company, and this is another Menk company, Ausführung G2, late one. This is Christmas gift from my sister. This one has the little crane on top of it, and another Christmas gift. This is Jagdpanther late version from the Tamiya. So the G1 and this one are quite familiar. Those are late type. I'm gonna point some characteristic feature of the late types and compare to the early one in the upcoming video. Okay, so this is the famous picture of the Jagdpanther number 302, which was covered in the Zimmerit paste, and that Zimmerit is very characteristic for the early Jagdpanthers. This anti-magnetic paste was something that convinced me to split the build between early and late ones. As you can see, compared to the last minimalistic look of this early type, I've added many additional things and details that won't be needed on the factory diorama. So all the hinges, hatches, tools clamps, machine gun cover, and of course the Zimmerit. But here's the trick: the Zimmerit is from the Attack company, the very well and great design Zimmerit, but for the Dragon and Academy Jagdpanther. This is Menk Jagdpanther, and apparently either Menk Jagdpanther is too long or Dragon and Academy ones are too short. So I need to, to attach some additional parts from the Zimmerit made with epoxy putty, because the original one from the Dragon and Academy was simply too short. So you can see additional tracks, and the thing which I think is my favorite detail in this early build, the cleaning rod and antenna tube is not on the left side of the armor plate, but on the very end of the engine deck cover. And of course the early exhaust types, so two exhaust pipes and two inhale pipes on the left side. Here you can see some photos of the Jagdpanther. This damaged back is due to the running on the reverse gear from the ambush made by the Cromwell. This Jagdpanther got 3 hits on the right side and was destroyed. Here you can see clearly the additional antenna for the command vehicle and the rubber covers preventing the back door to smash on the air filter covers. Here the rooftop and the Zimmerit paste, the square Zimmerit paste, and the way it was applied. The early type of the ventilators cover and the self-defense weapon, and this is the overall look of the Jagdpanther. Those photos were taken by the US government, and you can see the actually the 4 holes on the side. Okay, so now let's step back to the factory line and the assembly line of the Jagdpanthers, because obviously now I've got more Jagdpanthers to do, and the general idea is the same. So the Jagdpanthers in the factory in various stage of the completion. and adding those halves of the Yak Panther I've shown you last time. I can do 4 Yak Panthers on this little diorama. So this is the very basic diorama base, the concrete floor and the 2 Yak Panthers. As you can see, the chassis are completed, and the right side one is Meng and the left one is Tamiya. There are slight differences between those kits, but overall both of them are just fine. Here you can see the gearbox. Maybe I will add it into inside of one of these Yak Panther, or maybe it will be on the outside. Oh, so here are the halves sprinkled with the with the bricks and debris from the factory, because as you probably remember, the roofs were melted by the sun. From those halves I prefer the right one, and I think the general idea will be, you know, to build up the Yak Panthers, so the additional things like wheels, engines and gun barrels will be stuck between those Yak Panthers, and the half one will be the end of the whole picture. It will be, you know, something like triangle of the Yak Panthers. Yeah, this is my idea. So the left side will be open, and oh, here you can see the idea of the right side of the diorama. It will be flat black with the half of this Yak Panther. And at some point I thought maybe I will use all my Yak Panthers, and it gets very crowded here, so you can judge that the idea of removing one is quite right. This is another very famous photo from the MNH factory, I believe, which was bombed and taken by the Allied forces. You can see the damage to the factory crane and the other factory constructions. So I've prepared something like that to, you know, to make some vertical additions to the diorama. This concrete block which says Rauchen verboten, so smoking forbidden, also will, I don't know, you know, basically it's the general idea of the factory things I'm gonna use on this diorama. And the last thing I'm consider is this Fryers crane. As you can see, I've removed the wheels, so this will look more stationary than the factory crane with wheels. But you know, those cranes were used outside, not indoor, and generally close to the front line, so I'm considering it. And this will be the different idea for the factory, because I thought this crane and those Yak Panthers maybe put like this, and some factory workers, so it won't be the destroyed factory but still working. um, so as you can see, there are plenty of ideas in my head for the for those Yak Panthers dioramas, and I think the early one will be easiest, because I already have some nice idea for the frontline diorama, and this factory is still bothering me. But now, since I've stuck with so many Yak Panthers, I just simply want to use them on some kind of display, you know. As always, I hope you like this video. This is very short format, and I think, you know, something that will connect the previous one with upcoming one, and the upcoming one will be about the early type. I think I'm gonna focus on the one diorama and then make another, but I'm sure that I'm gonna work on the late types in meantime. So as always, don't forget to subscribe, comment and leave a like, and hopefully we're gonna see each other in the next video. So cheers.